The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
What's up, bees?
Hello.
Welcome to the Brit on Blast podcast, where we talk about everything and anything, and we put it all on blast, and I just forgot the line.
Put everything and anything on blast.
Thank you, Britton.
Nailed
Always
it.
saving my ass. Sorry, we just talked about some inappropriate things, and I just wanted to, I saw everything, and I was like, let's talk about everything.
Literally everything.
Everything. Anyway, sorry, now I'm slamming on the table. I'm way too pumped up.
We've got a lot of coffee in us. I'm ready to go today. I'm so excited. What is the roundup for this week?
All right, so this week, we're going to be talking about presents and also presents. No, I'm just kidding. We don't talk about gifts.
We don't, but it totally makes sense. Presents and presents under the tree.
So while you're unwrapping your presents and spending time with your family, we think it's super, super important to ground into presents this season. I've gotten a big old lesson in that in the last 2 months. And I can honestly say I finally feel like myself again. And it's just been the fact that I took my screen time from 8 to 9 hours a day to 4 to 5 hours a day.
Good for you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to do, but it's so important. And as we're going through this holiday season, we just thought it would be really important to practice being present. And we wait for these moments with our family and our loved ones for so long. So truly being there.
Yeah.
Being where your feet are, like we talked about.
Yes, being where your feet are. That is my favorite expression ever. And I'm so excited. I pretty much have nothing else except for our event on Thursday. So you guys, if you need any last minute gifts, you should come to Record Street, or if you need a new puppy or kitten.
Yes, ladies night.
Yeah, we have ladies night on Thursday from 5 to 7 at Record Street Brewery. So please come by. We would love to see you. If you guys mention Brit on Blast to me at the space, I will give you 20% off of your purchase.
Oh, snap.
I just made that up just now.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to let my girls know because I'm gonna be working Murdock's hats, which I'm super excited about. But
I just got full body chills from that.
Oh gosh, dude, it's a lot. But if you mention Brit on Blast to one of my girls during checkout, we'll give you 20% off an item.
Love that.
But yeah, this week there's a lot. It's a lot going on. It's the week of Christmas. It's our final push for the holiday shopping. I've been trying to take it one task at a time, one day at a time, and just hoping it all comes together.
It will. It always does.
Yeah, but our last event of the year.
Oh God, I'm so happy.
I know, me too.
I mean, I'm grateful and I'm happy and I'm grateful.
Yeah, me too. I'm really, really excited. Shout out to Record Street for having us and having such an awesome venue. And I mean, Ladies Night really took off this year and it's been so cool. I mean, that's how we met.
Yeah.
That's how we accidentally started Bob.
Yeah.
Right?
Honestly, that's literally how all of this started. I look back at this year because it's been a rough go for me for parts of it. But again, I'm trying to live in that and space. And I look at the last year and really there were some big, bright, shining star moments, like meeting you. And you and I talked about this last night, meeting you, meeting the wolf, meeting, I mean, we'll see I don't even know what that's going to be, but I've learned so much. I've learned so much from these people who have acted as mirrors to me. And a big piece of what I've learned is being present in the moment and really rooting down into, like you said, being where your feet are.
Right. Yeah, no, this year has been amazing.
And then the biz opportunities.
Yeah. I feel like the amount of growth that has happened over this year, I'm just so grateful for. But as we go into the holiday, so our big final push is, holiday shopping. It's one of our craziest times. And then I'm going to go up to Tahoe for a couple days and take some time with my family.
Good.
I was just, as I was writing this out and just kind of thinking about what I was going to talk about, my dad went through a super scary health scare back in October and he's recovered. He had a spinal infection and it was acute.
What?
Yeah, it was crazy. And he's fully recovered and I'm just so grateful for health and the love that I have, like between my in-laws and my family. And so I'm really just grateful and excited for that. And so this pod has totally helped me understand that I need to be present and just grateful, because that's all we have is the present moment.
Yeah, truly. God, it is crazy because, we're going into Christmas and this is going to be my first Christmas without my grandmother. And she really was. And my mom and I were talking about this last week. She's like, because my mom said this to me, she's like, you really have a way of like bringing people together, like bringing families together. With all of my exes, I don't know. I think it's really important for people to be together as a family. I think family is the most important thing. And I think whether you're having it or somebody else, like whoever's family it is, being incorporated. And that's something I love about working with you, Britton, is that every time that we do an event, your family is there. Like your mom shows up. She knows everything about my business. She's always supporting my business. Your dad cracks me up every time he comes to my booth. He's like, forgets that he knows me. I feel like
he knows you.
He knows. It's funny though.
You might be known as the candle girl with the same name as me, but
listen,
I'm like, do you know my name? Like my dad doesn't know anything. He doesn't know our birth. Like it's fantastic. Dads don't know that. They're not supposed to know that. He's like, how old are you? Are you 22? I'm like, that's your youngest daughter, but yeah, that's fine.
To be fair, your dad has a lot of daughters to keep track of.
It's got a lot of people.
My dad this year is Christmas shopping for my mom on his own. And he tried to tell me yesterday that he like has never, that like he always Christmas shops for my mom. When my mom hears this, she's going to laugh out loud because he's never shopped for my mom.
Dude, guys live in an alternate reality.
I know.
I swear.
I know. But yeah, so going back to the family thing, my mom and I were talking about like how I love to bring families together and make sure that everybody is spending time and getting that present moment with each other. And then we were talking about my grandma and we were like, she was like the centerpiece. She really brought us all together and all of that. The matriarch. And my mom was like, well, that's you. And
that's so cool.
Yeah. And so I had that, I burst into tears in the moment. But like it was an awesome thing to have. So I'm just interested to see what this is like. My brother is home. So I'm grateful for that. He's home. He's safe. We'll see how it goes. It's a cycle. Yeah. Peace and prayers.
So wherever you are this Christmas, look at the positives, be grateful for the people that you do have, and be present.
Be present. And let's get into it, you guys.
Let's do it. We're so excited for this one.
So excited.
So Britt, because this is in your wheelhouse, why the Automobile Museum?
I mean, for me, it's about the cars all day long. I love cars. I like old cars, new cars, all the things. For me, the fact that they have the DeLorean here and the Batmobile in the same room is like, it makes my heart happy. So that's why for me, but I think for like someone like us, like doing things with all of our friends, like 160 of our close friends could go to the theater.
In any movie that you want. They have so many things to offer. The space camp for your kids, if you like need a little break or you want to look at the cars. Reno's just really lucky to have it. It's one of the biggest collections, I think, in the country, which is awesome.
It's so cool. And the fact that it's here in the biggest little city is like the coolest thing ever. So yeah, grab a bottle of tequila and come on into the theater.
Yes, Back to the Future.
Get all your friends, 160 of them, so the whole town of Reno.
So everyone you know.
And watch a movie.
Yep.
You can find tickets at the automuseum.org.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's where you go get your tickets.
Perfect.
Fun day. Yeah, so just with like all of the family stuff that I've been going through and like, dating and work and all of the pieces of the puzzle, I've really been working on being present, which is helping a lot with my anxiety because my anxiety has been at an all-time high. So let's just jump right into this week's topic, which is being present.
Yeah, especially how to be present during the holidays because like we talked about before, everything is magnified around the holidays. Yeah. And so being present is going to be key if you're going to truly enjoy the holidays.
I mean, truly. And I think that, for me, let's just like jump right into it.
What does being present mean?
Being present, let's just be really specific. So this is going to be a little bit more, we wanted to make sure that we really provide you guys with like factual content that isn't just from us. It's not just experiential, which we obviously give a lot of that, but this is actually information that is, researched and real. So according to Mind Body Green, being in the present, known as mindfulness, is the mental state of being engaged in the now without emotionally reacting to your thoughts. LOL. For most of us, though, it is nearly impossible to stay in this state for any real length of time. Hi, hello.
You lost me at without emotionally reacting because, I mean, I'm just kidding, but also at the same time,
But
like,
not really.
Yeah, like, how do you not emotionally react? Even if I do it internally, like my gut is so strong. I feel like I'm constantly reacting internally, like where someone says something that's like hurtful or mean or like a put down to make you feel small. And I just like, oh, frick. Like you feel it deep.
Yeah.
So like, how do you not emotionally react? It's hard.
Are you going to tell me? Because I don't know the answer to it.
That's why it says that it's almost nearly impossible to stay in mindfulness for any real length of time.
Yeah. I think for me, like I said that as a joke that I wanted you to tell me, but I have been going through obviously so much emotional stuff and a lot of emotional reactions to things. And what I'm really learning, and honestly, like I hate to bring the wolf up again, but like he is really good at stepping away in like a hard time and being by himself. And that has really been a great mirror for me because then it forces me, like I have stepped away from a lot of things in my life. I've been able to put a lot of boundaries up and say like, I can't handle this right now. So I'm going to take a step back and just focus on the main things that I have to. Like we talked about that with Nicole, which is like just figuring out what your non-negotiables are. And like in the moment, I think it's taking a deep breath.
Right. And preserving yourself, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just taking that time to stir and dwell, like you're taking that time to take a deep breath and truly like cleanse your mind and body.
Yeah.
So something else from Mind Body Green, constantly avoiding the present, the mind poses a question. Why worry about that is already decided for? It naturally migrates to the past and becomes present towards the future. Often this tendency gets out of control and we begin to see the dangers that are not actually there, leading to unnecessary anxiety about events that may not even happen. How often do we worry about things that don't happen?
Never happen.
Right.
Again, like this is so much like for my business and everything. Like right now I'm worried about January. How am I worried about January? I can't predict January. We're not there.
Right. And we're truly only given the present. We're not even guaranteed tomorrow.
The best advice I ever got in my entire life was someone told me, whenever you say what if, stop yourself and say what is. Because if you're saying what if, that's an anxious statement. Yeah. Like, what if this happens? What if that happens? Like, what if the world burns down?
The
what
mind
if COVID
is a crazy
happens?
thing.
Yeah.
Right. The mind is so crazy that it makes up all these things and it goes worst case scenario.
Yeah. But what is happening is right now, Britt and I are here. We're recording a podcast. We just had like an amazing interview. And like, this is the joy of our life. And we get the opportunity to do this.
And then your mind shifts to gratefulness, which leads to endorphins, which makes you happy. So yeah, it's just taking that time. If you find yourself, your mind just kind of fleeting and going all over the place, usually this happens to me at night. My mind just like cannot turn off and the anxiety sets in and I'm thinking about everything. Like for example, January. Yeah. Or I'm thinking worst case scenario about events and
But that's the thing is like you go to events and I'm like, oh my God, this event. We had an event on Sunday and it was like outside and I was like, it's going to blow away. There's a storm coming in. There's all of these things. And I was like, you know what? What is happening? The event is still happening. I'm going to get to hang out with all of my business owner friends.
Show up.
I get to meet my customers. Even if there's only 4 that come, it doesn't matter. That event turned out being amazing. Like it was an incredible event. We had so much fun. Like I got to hang out with my friend Jama from Modest Mix. We're going to hang out next week.
Yeah, I know. She's so cool.
So it just was like, it just is such a blessing. So, and then again, you look at the blessings and that's really where the meat and potatoes are.
Right. And then you no. And by meat and potatoes, you mean like all the good things in your life.
Hey, I love meat and potatoes.
Same. I will stock up on those all day long.
Give me a tri-tip.
We put some tips together for you guys to kind of have a takeaway after the podcast is over and just try to incorporate this into your life. I know that like right now we live in a society that's just like overstimulated with advice. But if you can cling on to maybe 1 or 2 tips, it may help you during this busy time. So do you want to start it off?
Yeah. And I think that like just on the note of tips, whenever we give you guys tips, we're not giving you tips based off of like we do some research behind the scenes, right? But like, this isn't what a psychologist says.
Yeah.
Like this is like our real life. This is what we've experienced. This is that we've tried some things that have worked, things that haven't worked.
Right.
And this is what we've come up with that works for us. I would honestly, if you guys have anything that you feel like works for you, especially like we just did an interview with Nicole Schutt, who owns Studio Sculpt. And I'm not going to lie. And if you haven't listened to that podcast yet, if you haven't listened to that episode, go back and listen to it. It's so good.
Yeah, she's incredible.
She's incredible. But I took away so much from the interview with her that like, if you guys have feedback for us, we want to hear it.
Definitely.
So like, if you have tips for us, we're floundering just as much as you are.
And like, these are tips, like you said, that have worked for us, but at the same time, like, or these are things that we like want to implement in our lives, you know, and like they're good reminders. Like I used to do this, but like I need to be better and more consistent at doing this. So.
Let's be real honest that we gave you guys some tips last week about not drinking and posting on social media. And do you know what I did Friday night after the event? I drank.
Seriously.
And I posted on social media. I just got my voice back. I karaoke'd way too hard. Okay.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
Before He Cheats by... I almost just said Mariah Carey Underwood.
Nice. I like Torn. Actually, I'm so bad. I literally am tone deaf, so I should not.
Listen, nobody at karaoke is singing well.
You don't understand. No, this is like, I'm dead ass serious. Like this, it is so bad. And I love music. It makes me so sad. Like if I could wish, if I could wish for anything, it would be a good voice.
Really?
Well, I mean, okay, among other things. But like, if we're like going to, talk about that.
Don't be Miss America is not for you. World peace is supposed to be your answer.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
All right, cool. Well, let's jump into some tips. So our first tip for you kind of goes back to the scheduling tip we gave you in episode 1. Make a commitment. Like make a commitment to yourself to be in the present moment. Make a commitment to your team, to your family, to your friends, to anybody that you love, to the freaking cashier at the grocery store, that you are going to be present in that moment. Put your phone down, put it down. It doesn't just happen. So if you feel thoughts of anxiety that are creeping in, just gently, and this is something that I've been actively doing. If I am driving my car, you guys, I have a tendency to pick up my phone. I don't know why. There's nothing on my phone that's that important. And I live in Midtown. Like everything is 15 minutes away. Mm-hmm. Everything in my life can wait 15 minutes. It really can. So being present, I've started being like, why do you have your phone in front of your face right now?
That's good.
Like I will ask myself that question, like why? You've made a commitment to
I'm horrible at that.
Go to this place to do this thing. Like you are here right now. Whatever is on your phone can wait. You'll get to it when you get to it. So I think that that's like really the biggest, that's helped me a lot. And I think also, like we talked about in episode 1, like I schedule out my week. Okay. It's all time blocked. Everything's on a to-do list. There's a checklist. So listen, you guys need to remember that busyness is not just a state of mind, but a state of heart. Mm-hmm. This is like a mind, body, soul situation. And so like truly rooting down, your schedule can be, you can literally do these things physically in life, but you need to make the commitment to yourself internally that you are going to respect your time. You are going to respect yourself and respect the people around you.
Right. And it doesn't have to be a huge time commitment. Oh, it can be like a couple seconds in the morning, just declaring that you're going to be present that day and that you're going to try to enjoy the day, and whatever the day throws at you, you're going to be prepared for. Something that I gave one of my friends when she was just a little bit of advice when she was getting married, because I took it away from my wedding day. It was be where your feet are. So I think that that's something like when you make the commitment, like if you're standing here and whoever you're talking to, be where your feet are.
Yeah.
So that's something that I try to go back to.
That's
I don't
so
always
good.
believe it, but
I'm quoting that one.
I don't always follow through. Number 2, remember what Christmas is all about. So Christmas is about giving back, helping others. In my case, I am a big, religious person. I love Jesus, and I don't mean religious. I'm very spiritual.
Yeah.
I love Jesus. I love God, the Bible, all of that. So it's definitely easy to get caught up in, your own personal agenda. But if you take time to look around, see if there's someone in need, a family in need, someone close to you. It could be a friend. It could be someone that you just, get a service from.
Yeah.
And also like just like kind of a cool thing. Like, did you know when you give back, it helps you more, usually more than it helps the person you're helping? Because when you give back, endorphins are released in your brain, and it makes you happy. It lowers stress, increases your self-esteem, which we all need.
Yeah.
Just by giving back what you're capable of. It doesn't have to be massive, and it can be little. It can be massive if you want it to be. But what I just did a couple nights ago is I made a list of obviously our customers for Christmas gifts, but then also people in my life that I could touch and help in just a small way. And it already warmed my heart. And I just like cannot wait to just, spread some love and gift them a little something.
I mean, and even just like remembering to check in on your friends. Like at this point, you're probably a busy we've talked about this a million times over. Like we got a lot going on. Everything is like really intense right now. Everything's heightened. Like we're all in a different mental state than we were in 2019. And I think it's really important that, we take a minute and really
get out of your own head and think of others.
Yeah.
Step outside of yourself and put others first.
Walk a mile, baby. Walk a mile.
Yep.
In their moccasins, in case you guys don't know that phrase, walk a mile in their moccasins.
What's our next tip?
So our next tip is right from the heart for me. So don't get so wrapped up in the activities of the season that you don't deal with your emotions, disappointment, loss, or loneliness. We are all, for some weird reason, Christmas and Thanksgiving, people pass away. I mean, people go missing.
Well, it's like just because all of this busyness and like life is around Christmas, like you're just pulled in so many different directions. It doesn't give you an excuse to suppress all the emotions that you're going through on a regular basis. Like if Christmas wasn't happening, maybe you would, identify those emotions and deal with them. If you suppress them, they're going to rear their head a couple months from now and usually come back with a vengeance, and sometimes worse than if you would just deal with them at the present time. So don't shelf the things that are going on. And that's hard to do.
That is hard to do. And I would also like to do this with a little bit of tough love, right? Like deal with your emotions. And this is something that I think that I maybe have done too much like on one side of this. I always joke about I always tell people to get their shit together, including myself.
Yeah.
Deal with your emotions. Set a limit for yourself, right? Say today I'm feeling sad. I'm going to be really sad and disappointed with this thing, this experience that I'm having.
And I'm going to feel it.
And I'm going to feel it and I'm going to soak it up for this amount of time. Once this time is over, I'm going to check the next thing off of my list.
Going to put a messy bun up. I'm going to put some lipstick on and
get my shit together.
Take care of my list. Yeah.
Yeah, because the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to end up in this weird cycle of sadness, and then the next day, and that's coming from somebody who deals with depression, right? Like if I were to let my sadness soak in for an extended period of time, it will turn into full-blown depression and I will be on the couch for weeks.
You become unraveled.
Yeah.
So feel it, address it, identify it, deal with it, and then move the fuck on.
Move the fuck on. All right. Give us another tip, Britton.
Say goodbye to technology. We talk about this a lot and it's freaking hard. So many things tie back to our social media pod that we did, but saying goodbye to technology, especially during the holidays. Many of us feel the pressure to post on social media, to stay relevant, or to portray the good parts of our lives. But the question for me that relates back to being present is if we are filming, tagging, posting, creating reels, thinking about what photo would look good with what, are we being present? Are we being where our feet are? No. We're thinking about the future. We're thinking about what we're going to post and how many likes we're going to get and how cool it would be if we posted a picture of Lake Tahoe with the sunset. Just be there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Especially during the holidays. So I don't know. I'm going to try to do this. Just toss my phone for a couple days around Christmas and dive into the people that I love most. And what I've been looking forward to for so long is being with my family and friends without work. So why would I have it attached to my hip? Right.
I've got two. Do you mind if I jump in?
No,
I have two pieces on this that are really, I was realizing this the other morning because I leave to go to the gym at the time the sun rises. And it's been really, really stunning recently. And I looked at the sunset and I was like, oh, my first thought, you guys, was I should take a picture of this.
Yikes.
First off,
I do that all the time.
If you are not up for the sunrise, you don't deserve to see the sunrise, bitch. Like, sorry.
Whoa, get your shit together, Britt says.
No, but like truly, if you're not up for the sun, like if the sunrise, I am seeing the sunrise, okay? If I were to take a photo of that sunrise, I'm not only going to miss the sunrise because it's a short period of time that happens.
Yeah.
It's not going to look that good on my phone.
They
the
never
picture
translate.
of it doesn't translate because it's way more beautiful. Life is so much more beautiful in person. Just experience it. The second piece of it is, while I've said that, there is a balance because I'm going through this loss of my grandmother and I don't have any photos of her and I together. But do you want to know why I don't have any photos of my grandma and I together? Because every moment that I was with my grandma, I lived it with her fully and I was very present with her. And she would tell stories and we would laugh and we would just experience like so many amazing times over wine. And now there's things in life that I see that remind me of her. And I have those like mental pictures.
Yeah.
Do I wish I had some more photos with my grandmother? Yes.
There's a balance.
There's a balance.
I get what you're saying, but that's really cool that you were present.
Yeah. And I also think, because you just talked about like putting your phone down, like as business owners, we don't really get the opportunity to do that. There's going to be customer service stuff coming in. Like we have to make sure that we're reposting things on social, unfortunately. So Time block.
Yes. You're so good. You're so good at that. You are. And I need to be better so that like my social media time doesn't bleed into the other times. Another thing with the technology thing is, like we talked about last week, is if we are on our phones, odds are we're going to spend more time on it. And then we're going to look at people who have bigger, nicer houses, bigger, nicer trees, bigger and better gifts. Like, and it's going to make you the comparison thing again. So don't do that. Be grateful. Just don't even put yourself in that position. Which kind of leads to our next tip. Yes.
Which is practice gratitude. This is my favorite thing as somebody who suffers from severe anxiety. I grasp a lot at things. Like I really want to control the future, which is so funny when you think about it.
Right.
Like as if I have that much power.
I know. It's humbling to think that like we actually have no control, and it actually takes some pressure off. It's like, stop spinning your wheels, bro.
Dude, you only have right now.
Yeah.
Like life is going to deal you a circumstance, a situation, and you get to choose. Everybody on this world has a choice. You get to choose if you're going to deal with that situation that was dealt to you in a positive way or in a negative way. And sometimes you don't know if it's going to be positive or negative. And also, by the way, you get to make a choice. And for every choice that you make, there's a repercussion. Okay. I went out on Friday night. I got drunk. The next day I was hungover and depressed.
You paid for it.
I paid for it. That's on me. It's not on anybody else.
Right.
And I could have chosen something different. I didn't need to have all those drinks. I could have just been there with my friends and like.
But at the same time, you were living in the moment, and I'm sure you had a great time, and it was what you needed to get your mind off of everything that you've been going through.
Right. I needed that moment. And so I made that choice and I dealt with the repercussions, and I'm glad that I did it. And I'll probably do it again on Saturday.
Blow off some steam, girl. Live your life.
But I think that it's really important to think of life that way. So for me, whenever, like this morning, I took my dog to the park and it's snowing today. We're recording this ahead of time, but I took Sage to the park and she was just like derpy beyond derpy. And there's just like, you just look around, and I didn't have my phone in my hand. And normally I do, I'm like posting while I'm at the park, and I'm watching Sage and she's rolling around in the snow, and there's like people kids sledding down this little hill. And I just was like, what a beautiful scene this is.
Right.
Like, and if you take a moment to look up and see the things around you, we live such a beautiful life. And Britton and I talk about this so much. Life is so hard, but it's so beautiful.
Like that scene that you just described, I'm thinking like I would see that on a movie and be like, I want to be there. You were there.
I was there.
Probably will be there soon. And it's like being present there. It's like, it's not just something that you see from the outside.
You get to take life for all the good, the bad, and the ugly, and like just be grateful for all of it. Because if it's bad, it teaches you, and if it's good, it's beautiful.
Right. Next tip for you.
Yeah.
Recognize if you are living knee deep in minute problems. So throughout our day, we run into many inconveniences, mean people, red lights, etc. I'm the most impatient freaking person on the planet, so those things like kind of kill me. But I've been like asking myself, is this a minute problem? Is this going to matter in 60 seconds from now? If the answer is no, I like just let it go. Like,
love
why
this.
am I holding on to this?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm still thinking about that rude checkout lady 20 minutes later, she wins. And
Yeah.
I'm not being present. Like, who cares? You can't control that. Like, I just have to like let it go. If I hit a red light, like instead of just freaking the frick out, like I literally am like ADD to the max. Like I'm like inching forward. It's like, just listen to the radio or just be there. Right.
Yeah.
Like I get to be driving to my podcast right now.
Hey, you know what? All of those things that you went through, all of the breakups I've been through, my divorce, all of these things, I know we talk about them a lot, but I don't live there anymore.
Yeah.
We don't live there anymore.
Turns out they were a minute problem. No.
They were, I mean,
they were a month.
They were
year.
a decade.
Yeah.
but no, in hindsight, it's like, it really is. It's like, even with the little things that creep up from your past that you're like, whoo, that's like they're minute problems. Right now in this moment, those are minute problems. You don't live there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Move forward.
Right.
Like you cannot change what has happened to you in the past. You cannot like control what's going to happen to you in the future. And all you can do is deal with it. And you are, to your point, you are going to deal with people like the cashier who's like, I had a guy literally lecture me.
Oh God.
The grocer, guy bagging my groceries the other day, lectured me for, I'm not kidding you, the entire time I checked out.
About what?
Because I put my basket full of like 10 things on the conveyor belt.
Oh God.
But I was like the only one there. And,
Yeah.
so in hindsight, I didn't know there were laws about this because normally I have a full cart.
Laws?
Apparently there are laws. You
Oh,
guys do
gosh.
not put your basket on the conveyor belt. It needs to be unloaded and
I do
placed
that all the
underneath.
time.
Oh, the guy reamed me. Like,
What
and
is-
then,
like, isn't that his job?
well, and then
Like educate you on like, I don't know, cashier kosher behavior.
right. I was, well, and then he did. He was like, listen, I know this is like the first time, but if you could just not ever do that again. And I was like, I'm obviously talking about it now, but I kind of was like, okay, cool. That's enough.
You're like so F- at the checkout stand.
Yeah.
Got a F-.
And I was having such a good morning and I was like, you are not going to let this affect your day, girl. You are not going to let this affect your day.
Yeah,
So.
it's hard. It's really hard to do that though.
I mean, but who is that guy? Who is he? I don't know what he went through, because that's the other thing is you have no idea what everybody else is dealing with. Everybody else has a mile long list of shit that they're going through. So
Right.
if you're living in their problems that they've put onto you,
Yeah. Block that energy. You don't need to take it on.
oof, let's block everybody. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't. That's bad advice. That is not a tip.
Yeah. Let the minute problems go.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What is our next tip? Oh, I'm giving the next tip.
Yeah. And this is a good one.
Enjoy being where you are.
And on a positive note, this is our last tip.
Why is that positive? These tips are great.
Well, I'm just saying, like, no, it's just like enjoy. Like, it's not don't live in the minute problems. It's like enjoy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're ending on a pause. Got it. Wow. My brain is, listen, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I'll see you guys in February. So enjoy being where you are. I mean, look, think of all the time that we spend waiting and anticipating for something to happen. This goes into that what if, or like thinking about like what's going to happen next, or like trying to figure out what the future holds and all of that. I mean,
And trying to control the future that doesn't exist.
trying to control the future.
Right.
I mean, we literally have a countdown till Christmas. People put out their Christmas tree before Thanksgiving. That was me this year. I typically am not that person. I'm a little ashamed that I did it this year, honestly, but I needed to make content. So like it happens. You know what I mean?
I am not that person.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just like we're so excited for Christmas. People literally cannot wait.
Right.
I mean, Christmas decorations go up in October at the stores.
Right. I mean, I put mine up early. This was the first year I ever did this. And I had two reasons for it. One, I was really, really sad and very drunk.
I love that for you. You're like, I need some freaking Christmas cheer right now.
So I put it up.
Give me joy.
Give me joy. So I put it up and I did do that. And then I was like very ashamed that I did it. I will say that putting my Christmas tree up before Christmas did not actually like make me feel any better.
Shoot.
Oh, bummer.
Christmas joy is a freaking fraud.
It's a fraud. Everything's a fraud. No, but we do. We have this countdown, and then by the time it gets here, right? Like I just said I put my Christmas tree up early with the hope of being joyful, but I was so stressed and chaotic through like all of this time that I didn't actually enjoy where I was. I didn't actually look at my Christmas tree and be like, look at how great this is. I haven't even put presents under it because I don't even have time to wrap presents. So it's like the one thing I enjoy the most about Christmas, well, two things, is being with my family and gift giving. I love gift giving. And I'm not even doing either of those things. I put up a fucking tree that doesn't even matter.
But hopefully by the time Christmas comes, you will be able to give the gifts. And then just like the challenge is to enjoy that, right?
Yeah. What was my face doing just now? Because I literally was thinking, I was like, Christmas is next week, Britton. You guys are listening to this the day before Christmas Eve, Wednesday.
Oh, man.
So I don't know. I haven't even purchased all the gifts. Like my dad's not getting a Christmas gift this year. Sorry, Dad. I bought him a bow and arrow like months back.
That's good.
Merry Christmas in August.
Okay, well, just enjoy
being where you are. So let me wrap this back. I just had here we go. Brittany's having a panic attack on the podcast again. Yay! But I think that the biggest thing is like, again, going back to the park analogy this morning.
Yeah.
Like I didn't need to have my phone out. I don't need to be doing multiple things at once. I think as business owners too, like, and as human beings, we're taught that we need to multitask. We're taught that we need to do a million things at once. Let me tell you something. This week, really like even last week, I started doing one thing at a time.
Good for you. Like finishing the task and then starting another.
Yep.
Yeah.
One thing at a time. And if somebody tries to interrupt me, I'm like, nah, man, it's not happening. My text messages, like
they can wait.
They can wait. My emails, they can wait. If it's not what I'm working on right now. And by the way, I have clear inbox on my to-do list. So there is time blocked out to clear my actual inbox. I will do that when I'm doing that.
Right.
And until then, I will not do it.
But by doing that, you're saying, okay, I'm going to enjoy this moment or just be present in the moment in the task that I'm doing.
Yeah. And I'm going to be where I am and I'm going to make sure I give the one thing that I'm focusing on my all. And then when it's done, I can move on to the next task. And you know what? I've been a lot more efficient and I've been a lot happier and I've been a lot calmer.
That's good. That's good advice for me. I need to take that away. So just to recap, a little list of the tips that we gave you.
Yep.
1, make a commitment.
Yeah.
2, remember what Christmas is all about.
Yep.
3, don't get so wrapped up in the activities of the season that you don't deal with your emotions, disappointments, loss, all those things. Say goodbye to technology, practice gratitude, recognize if you are living knee deep in the minute problems, and enjoy being where you are.
Yeah, I love that. As far as the number one tip that you're going to take away from this, what is it, Britton?
Oh man, honestly, for me, I feel like it might be don't get so wrapped up in the activities of the season that I don't deal with things that are actually happening in my life. I don't want to shelf the emotions. Like if getting the dog, I felt like I just kind of like shelved that because I was like, and it's a happy, fun, exciting new thing. And like all the emotions that are coming with it, I'm just kind of like blocked it out. I'm like, I just can't even deal. And it's like sad because we're not going to get another new dog until this one, sad. Like, so I'm like, oh my God. There. Right. So I was like, frick. Like, so now I'm like trying to be more present, but like, that's just one example.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, I think for me, I'm just really going to keep focusing on like being in the moment. Like for me, just like taking one thing at a time has been really, really helpful. So I'm just going to continue to do that.
Nice.
I've been really working on like asking or like saying what I need and what I feel too, because as somebody who has such bad anxiety, like it really does. I'm like always wondering what the next thing is going to be and like how I'm going to handle and like trying to read into all of these situations. It's just like ask for what you want. I told somebody recently, I was like, listen, you got to ask for what you want. And then they asked for what they wanted. And I was like, sometimes you don't get what you want.
Yeah. And that's okay.
And that's okay too.
Ask. The worst thing that can happen is you get told no.
Yeah.
But if you don't ask, then you never know.
But you know what? If you get told no, then you know the answer.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's an anxious thing that's off your plate. Like, cool, I don't have to worry about that anymore.
And you're not living in the what ifs like you were talking about.
Yep. And like valuing your time and valuing and respecting your friends and family's time as well is so important.
It really is. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to try to not have anxiety around the business and, Instagram and posting. I'm going to give myself some grace. And if, I don't post it for a day, that's okay. I hope that I'm just like sledding or doing something amazing.
I hope you're doing something cooler than sledding. But yeah, I do hope that. Do you like to sled?
Well, I was just picturing myself up at because we're going to our house in Tahoe. It's like a condo. And
Got
so
it.
like I picture myself being with my family in the condo and like, I mean, we ski. I don't know why I said sledding, but I'm like, I hope that I'm like outside in the snow,
Yes.
you know,
Like
not
it
there,
looks,
but yeah, sledding.
Yeah. I was like, you're going to sled?
I'm a tool. So
You're fine.
I'm a
You're
freaking
fine.
tool.
No, I honestly like, I love that. And we are going to have a white Christmas here in probably more Tahoe, maybe Reno, maybe Carson a little bit.
Yeah.
So, everybody like be safe this season because we're traveling. Everybody's traveling again this year to see family. And I think like I really wanted to get through some of these quotes real quick because we have a little extra time, which is a baby Jesus miracle. So a quote from Jack Canfield that I think really hits home for me, and Britton found these, but like, honestly, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes she does things. And that's what's so great about this podcast is sometimes like she'll say things or do things and then we build this all out. Right. And then I read it and she's like, can you just go check on it real quick? And I go check on it. I'm like, God, I needed to hear that.
Here, all the Jesus thing is on you. I'm like, yeah, I got this. I got this. But no, and I mean, same for you. Like you do things and I'm like, thank God she handled that because I would have just shelved it.
But a lot of what you say is what I need to hear. And so this is a Jack Canfield quote that she put in here and it says, a waiting mindset breeds impatience and impatience breeds frustration.
That's me.
That's me.
I'm a freaking nut job. I'm like,
Same.
why is it taking so long? You're making that latte so freaking slow. I'm
God.
like, holy smokes. Like, give me my coffee and let's go. And then I'm like, what the frick?
Like, you know what could have been nice if I just sat there and took a deep breath?
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm at a coffee shop. I'm grateful to get coffee. I don't know. It's shifting the mindset. It's freaking hard.
I mean, and again, it's a choice. And the reality is though that waiting, and you put this in here, waiting is a choice. And rather than choosing to wait, you can choose to enjoy life's moments as they come instead.
Right.
And I think that that's really the biggest thing is as you go through life, like you guys, it's very powerful to know you have a choice in every single piece of your life, whether you think so or not. You have the power to choose how you want to react, how you want to engage, how you want to be, how you want to experience life.
Like waiting is a choice. That blows my mind. Like I don't want to choose to stand in line right now, but I mean, we can shift our mindset to be like, I get to, right? Like that's what we're talking about. But like that, I don't know, that just registered with me. Waiting is a choice. Waiting is a choice.
And honestly, like Tiffany Billman, who we're going to interview next week, I cannot freaking wait to interview her. She's a freaking powerhouse, but she always puts these like, and if you guys don't follow her, go follow her. I think it's Tiffany Billman Realty, but she does these like stories, and it's a picture. It's always a beautiful picture of her home. And then it'll say, I get to do this today.
Yes.
I get to do this today.
Right.
I get to do this. And sometimes they're shitty things, but she gets to do them. You are here. You are alive.
Right.
You get to do these things.
She's like,
in
I
life.
get to move my body. I get to answer client emails. I get to go to lunch with my dad, which I read those every day. And they always put me in. Why am I on Instagram? Damn it.
No, I mean, sure, put your phone down, damn it. All right, guys. Well, that's all of it that we got for you this week. And we are so grateful that you guys are tuning in. We just found out that we had 2,700 listeners. Did we get that right? We don't know. Christian's like, your face is like on the second show.
Which is awesome.
I don't even know the statistics. All I know is that if we have 2 listeners, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
And so thank you.
If we have 1 listener, I'm appreciative. So this has been a learning curve for us. But we are so grateful. And honestly, we just hope to improve and continue to deliver content that is useful for your everyday lives.
Yeah. And we really appreciate you guys for tuning in. We're so grateful for you this holiday season. We hope you have a safe, a happy, a healthy, a beautiful, and a present holiday season. I didn't mean to do that, but I did do it.
That was awesome. I was hanging on to every word. Keep going.
All right, Britton. Sorry. It's weird when we call each other Britt. I mean, my name is Britt, but like.
So is mine.
I know.
That's why we have a podcast called Brit on Blast. Like what? That was episode 1.
Oh no.
Follow us along at Brit on Blast on Instagram and find us at BLFTreno and
Haven and Flux. We are there. If you guys need any gifts, it's Wednesday before Christmas Eve. So don't call us. No, I'm kidding.
Come to ladies' night.
Oh yeah, come to ladies' night. So tonight it is going to be ladies' night at Record Street Brewery. come see us, come say hi. We would freaking love that. Oh my God.
We have a Santa coming, and the Humane Society is bringing dogs and kittens to adopt.
What?
Yeah.
That
I was
can't
like, this
be.
is perfect. Like, because they have all these dogs. It's so cold. So, I mean, hopefully they tug on the heartstrings and some dogs go home.
I'm going to
Isn't that
probably
cool?
take a dog home.
Well, I hope you do.
This is my weakness. I can't have another dog.
It's a Christmas baby.
Oh no. Okay.
Do
Well, you guys, if you like the show, subscribe and review Brit on Blast on whatever platform you're listening to. We love you all so much. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see y'all next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.